I decided to do my project on the master-slave dialectic. German philosopher George Hegel believed that a person must receive acknowledgement of their consciousness from another person in order for their consciousness to actually exist. Due to this need for acknowledgement, when two people, both being self-conscious beings, meet, they are both focused on receiving that much desired acknowledgement. This is all well and good, except for the fact that neither of these people are willing to give that acknowledgement to the other. What to do? What to do? The obvious answer? Kill the other person. However, this becomes problematic because if person 1 kills person 2, then neither of the two receive what they so desire. Also, one would be dead, and that kind of ruins the day. With killing ruled out, these two people must come up with an alternative solution. What is the solution, you ask? The master-slave relationship, of course. One person, probably the one that doesn't want to die, voluntarily becomes a subordinate to the other person. This process, I imagine, is complicated and messy, but somehow must be done for this relationship to work. The person who becomes a subordinate is the slave in the relationship, believing that their master, or the superior, has complete power over them. The slave must believe that he or she has no power over their master. The master then has to make sure that the slave never discovers the power they actually hold over them. For when the slave discovers their power, the master-slave relationship no longer exists. Once the slave realizes his or her own consciousness, the slave becomes free in their head. Now the slave must gain freedom outside of their head. How is this done? Usually by some kind of rebellion that changes how things are. However, even without a rebellion, if a slave realizes their master's reliance on them, they break the master-slave relationship for themselves. I am sure you all have seen or at least heard of the Pixar film A Bug's Life. While this movie seems to the average Joe a cute little la-di-da bugs are awesome movie, we as students of theory, criticism, and aesthetics know that there is always something more. The master-slave dialectic exists in this film. The grasshoppers, more specifically Hopper, creates his role as the master over the ants by instilling in their minds that they have no power and rely on him and the rest of the grasshoppers for survival. Here, Hopper tells the ants how nature works.
It's a bug-eat-bug world out there, Princess. One of those circle of life kind of things. Now let me tell you how things are supposed to work. The sun grows the food, the ants pick the food, the grasshoppers eat the food.
Further forcing the slave position on the ants, and making them choose the subordinate role. Hopper makes the ants believe that they need the grasshoppers because they, as inferior ants, cannot possibly protect themselves against more dangerous or bigger bugs.
Listen, if you don't keep your end of the bargain, then I can't guarantee your safety, and there are insects out there that will take advantage of you. Someone could get hurt.
Hopper is well aware of the danger that comes with the ants realizing their power and rebelling, so he uses intimidation to keep them down. Flick is the first of the ants to realize his power. He challenges the need to work for Hopper and do his bidding. For Flick, the master-slave relationship starts to fall apart. When he sets off to find reinforcements to fight the grasshoppers instead of serve them, the rest of the ants think he has completely lost his mind and continue to pick food for the grasshoppers. As he leaves, Flick exclaims,
"Here I go, for the colony, and for oppressed ants everywhere!"
making it clear that he is ready for a rebellion. The movie then switches focus to the grasshoppers. Another grasshopper brings the idea of not needing to go back to the ants' island for food up to Hopper. He explains to him that they have plenty of food where they are. Hopper comes back by saying,
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Hopper has clearly stated that the ants actually have a lot of power over the grasshoppers, and that if the ants were to find this out, the grasshoppers would lose their current way of life, and the master-slave relationship would be destroyed. In a desperate attempt to save the master-slave relationship, Hopper says,
You piece of dirt. No, I'm wrong. You're lower than dirt. You're an ant. Let this be a lesson to all you ants. Ideas are very dangerous things. You are mindless, soil-shopping losers. Put on this earth to serve us.
When Hopper says ideas, he is referring to the idea that as ants they have power and can rebel against the grasshoppers. He knows that the ants have started to realize their own consciousness.
I've seen these ants do great things. And year after year, they somehow manage to pick food for themselves and you. So who is the weaker species? Ants don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who need us. We're a lot stronger than you say we are. And you know it, don't you?
And with this, the ants band together and destroy the master-slave relationship that they were once stuck in between themselves and the grasshoppers. Yay!
You see, Hopper, nature has a certain order. The ants pick the food, the ants keep the food, and the grasshoppers leave.